Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So, guys, yesterday we had David Benavidez win by TKO against Ronald Ellis. Um, the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's a strong belief amongst the boxing fans that David Benavidez might be the guy to beat Canelo Alvarez. Now, I did say a month ago that I think David Benavidez, why do I keep struggling saying this guy's name? David Benavidez might be the guy to trouble Canelo Alvarez. He may have the style, the hand speed to give Canelo a lot of problems. David Benavidez is a very good fighter. However, his resume is questionable. Without doubt, he hasn't fought any of the top guys at 160 or 168. But here's what I will say about David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a guy that's willing to test himself against the best. And what I mean by that, he's not looking to sit around and wait for the Canelo Alvarez fight. He's not looking to just sit down and fight poor guys just to get himself a Canelo Alvarez fight. He wants a Canelo Alvarez fight, but he wants to fight Charlo. He wants to fight Plant. It's those guys that don't want to fight him. He wants to fight the best guys. If Andrade beats Liam Williams, I would love Andrade to move up to fight Benavidez. I don't think Andrade would. I think it's too much of a risk for Andrade. But if Andrade wants to prove he's legit, and both of them want to prove they're legit, that could be a potential great fight. I don't think Andrade will, because Benavidez doesn't hold a belt. He's now the mandatory for the WBC, which Canelo holds, which I believe David Benavidez held prior to him struggling to make weight, and I think he lost it on the scales. So yeah, I think David Benavidez, for me, is looking for these big fights. He's looking for these other top guys, but they don't want to fight him. David Benavidez wants to fight Charlo. David Benavidez wants to fight Plant. David Benavidez wants to fight all of these guys. He's not sitting around waiting for a Canelo fight, and that's what I've seen with David Benavidez. David Benavidez says, I want to earn my shot against Canelo. I don't just want to sit around, and I believe him. I do believe that David Benavidez wants to fight Caleb Plant. He's not worried about waiting for Canelo. I tell you why he's not worried about waiting for Canelo, because he genuinely believes he would beat Caleb Plant. He genuinely believes he would beat Charlo. And I believe him too. I believe he would beat Caleb Plant. I believe he would beat Charlo. I don't believe them guys want that work. They're just waiting and sitting around for that Canelo fight. That's what they're doing, because they know if they fight David Benavidez, they're not going to get paid anywhere near the amount of money they're going to get for fighting Canelo, right? And there's a very good chance David Benavidez beats them. They are not confident about beating David Benavidez. Nobody wants to get in the ring with this guy at world level, world championship level. And I sympathize with him. He's tall. He's got very fast hands. Not got the greatest feet. However, he's very dangerous. And just the sheer size of the guy, he looks very tough. I know he's been dropped, but he looks very tough to me. He doesn't look like a guy that's going to fall over and get knocked out easy. He's a tough guy. He's a big guy at the weight. Huge guy at the weight, right? He might even be taller than Callum Smith. And he's a lot faster than Callum Smith. He's very fast of hands, right? And that could be a problem for anybody. Because when you've got a guy that's that fast of hands and he's tall like that, he's massive for the weight. No wonder he struggles to make weight. He's huge. Look at the size of the guy. And I think he's a problem for anybody, including Canelo. Now, do I think he beats Canelo? No. But do I think he could give Canelo a lot of trouble? 100%. I believe that's Canelo's toughest fight at 168. I know people are saying Billy Joe. I don't believe so. I believe David Benavidez is the man that potentially could stop Canelo at 168. I don't think he will. I think Canelo's experience. I think Canelo's got better ring IQ. I think Canelo will also see a bigger target in terms of body shots. and he'll look to slow Benavidez down with huge body shots. However, if Canelo fails to slow Benavidez down, Benavidez could be a huge problem for Canelo because he's tall, he's very fast of hands, and he could potentially back up Canelo. He could potentially back up Canelo. Now, I don't think that's an easy thing to do because Canelo's got serious power. And I believe it. I don't care how big you are, how strong you are. I believe Canelo Alvarez has the power to stop anybody in their tracks. Forget super middleweight. I believe at light heavyweight, he's that powerful. So again, I just think Canelo's I think his experience at top level, his ring IQ, the fact that Canelo just seems to be getting better and better and better. I would have him a favorite against David Benavidez. But if there's anybody in the super middleweight division that I believe can give Canelo a run for his money, it's David Benavidez. Just because of the sheer size, his style, I think he's a problem. I genuinely think David Benavidez is a problem. And I genuinely believe these other guys don't want to fight him. I don't believe Charlo wants to fight David Benavidez. I don't believe Caleb Plant. I believe that Caleb Plant wants to sit on that belt and he knows he's going to get that Canelo fight in September. There's no way Caleb Plant is going to risk fighting David Benavidez because he knows Caleb Plant, although he might be talking big, he knows deep down that's a tough fight. And he doesn't want to risk that fight and potentially getting beat and then losing the Canelo payday because Canelo's going to pay Caleb Plant a lot of money, right? And David Benavidez probably won't even pay a quarter of that. And if you lose, which is a great chance you might do, you're going to miss out on that Canelo payday. So it's not, from a business point of view, it's not smart. But maybe Benavidez is showing that willingness to fight these guys because Benavidez isn't champion. So Benavidez knows that Canelo hasn't got anything that he wants. So maybe that's why he's got that hunger to fight these top guys and not got nothing to lose because he knows I'm not champion. Canelo's not going to fight me. Canelo won't fight Benavidez. There's no reason for him to fight Benavidez. Why? If Benavidez doesn't hold a belt, Canelo could avoid him and say, you don't hold a belt. You don't hold anything. So Canelo could potentially fight Billy Joe Saunders, fight Caleb Plant, and then move up to light heavyweight. He doesn't even have to fight David Benavidez. Because David Benavidez doesn't hold one of the belts. So Benavidez, that's why he's probably got that hunger and that desire to fight these guys. But you have to say the Charlo fight, Charlo's not a champion at 168. Yet he's still willing to fight Charlo. And that fight would be for not a title. So he's willing to put it all on the line. And I like that about Benavidez. I like the fact that he's willing. But like I said, there's probably a reason why he's willing to do that, because he knows he is not going to get the Canelo fight if he's not world champion at the weight. And that's why he's probably pushing for the Plant fight. Plant and Charlo, because Charlo's a biggish name. He's a bigger name than Benavidez. He's got a bigger profile. And a win over Charlo would put Benavidez out there. However, I still think that Canelo won't go after Benavidez because Benavidez is not champion. Charlo's not champion at 160. Canelo wants to become an undisputed champion. And if Caleb Plant fights David Benavidez, then Caleb Plant would be putting himself at risk for not getting that Canelo fight because he could get beat. So I understand why Caleb Plant's not going to entertain that fight with Benavidez. No way. If you were his business or you were his manager, there's no way you're going to be telling Caleb Plant to fight David Benavidez. It'll be stupid. It'd be a crazy move when you think about it. If you're Caleb Plant's manager or Caleb Plant's promoter, right? Why are you going to risk putting him in a fight with David Benavidez, who's a horrible style to fight, who's massive at the weight, right? It's too risky a fight when you know that you've got a Canelo fight potentially around the corner. Canelo will fight Plant next. There's no doubt about it. Canelo is going to fight Caleb Plant next. If he beats Billy Joe Saunders and becomes a unified champion, the next fight will be in September against Caleb Plant. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. And Caleb Plant knows that. So why is he going to be willing to risk that and fight David Benavidez? But I do believe David Benavidez is the only guy in the super middleweight division that could give Canelo a run for his money. Do I think Benavidez will win? No. I think Benavidez could cause problems though. he could cause problems with that style. Knowing Canelo, he might just walk through Benavidez. Who knows? But I don't think so. I think Benavidez will cause him problems. I do. I think Benavidez might be the toughest fight at 168. This is a very, very big dude, a fast guy. He hasn't got the fastest feet, which could hurt him against Canelo, but he has got fast hands. However, he probably, in my opinion, gets outboxed by Benavidez, also by Canelo. Also, Canelo has serious power, so he's not just an elite boxer. He has serious power that could, with those body shots and those explosive right hands and uppercuts that Canelo throws, Benavidez could get hurt. In terms, he could definitely get wobbled and rocked against Canelo Alvarez. So, that fight would be very interesting. For me, that could be a potential super fight. It would be a great matchup. Benavidez is a problem for anybody in that division. I'm telling you. I'm not saying he beats Canelo, but I would favor him against everybody else. I would favor Benavidez against Saunders. Saunders' style could trouble Benavidez. Saunders' style could trouble Benavidez. I would like to see him against a slick boxer like that. However, Benavidez, for me, is a good enough boxer. And he's very big at the weight. And that could be a problem for Saunders because Saunders isn't big at the weight. So Benavidez could march forward and make it a horrible night for Saunders. Benavidez is a big, big dude. And he walks forward. Now, against Canelo, that could be dangerous. Because you could be open to some big, big shots. Because Canelo's got serious power. Now, someone like Saunders, who hasn't got the power and is not going to hurt Benavidez, Benavidez could just march forward all night. I think the same with Plant. I think Plant hasn't got the power and Benavidez could march forward all night. Plant's a slick boxer, but he hasn't got power. And Benavidez isn't going to be, in my opinion, isn't going to be affected by Plant's power. And I believe Benavidez will just walk him down. And I think he'll be too big and too strong for Plant. Whereas I think Canelo obviously has more power, so it's a lot more dangerous when you're walking forward like that, applying that pressure. Canelo has serious power on those punches. Those body shots are, hurtful. And like I said, his explosive power that Canelo has could put Benavidez in serious trouble. However, I would love to see David Benavidez v. Canelo Alvarez. I believe that's a great fight. I don't think Benavidez wins. I think Canelo beats him, but I believe Benavidez could give him a run for his money. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Do you believe David Benavidez is potentially the man to beat Canelo? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think this could potentially be built up into a massive fight. The only problem is right now is that David Benavidez hasn't got anything Canelo wants. So I don't think Canelo needs that fight. Will Canelo fight Caleb Plant and then move on to light heavyweight or move on to down to middleweight? I don't know. So Benavidez might be in the who needs me club. And that's why I think he's pushing for that fight with Plant. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.